After an amazing month spent at the French island of Mayotte, it was time for Cassius to move on. We were sad to leave, but the new adventures were awaiting, so we set course for Tanzania. So we just set the sails. We're on course to Dar Es Salaam. We've got just under 500 miles to go. We are expecting it's going to take us about 4 days, just under 4 days to get there, depending on the conditions, which are going to be light to moderate. We may have to motor sail for the first day or two, but on the flip side, we're not expecting any high seas or any big swells.
So it's 10:30 at night and I'm just passing Comore Island. We've been about close to 10 hours out from our last anchorage, which was in Mayotte. It's a beautiful night, about 12 to 14 knots of wind. I'm about at 120 port tack, quite lumpy in fact. And I'm just on the lookout now for obstacles and obstructions, and it's pitch black with no moon.
The goddamn wind completely died on us last night. Had to start the engines and we haven't turned them off since. So I'm motoring, burning expensive diesel, suffering from heat, boredom. 400 miles to Dar Es Salaam.
So, on tonight's menu is tacos. Well, fajitas, but we're making tacos instead. Nice and easy, very quick to make. Takes about 15 minutes, if that, and it feeds an army. Wow. Hey, where are you going?
In contrast with yesterday's hot, sunny and steel, now we have wet, cold and steel. Still no wind.
Still no wind.
No. So we've been motoring and hoping for the best.
When you're bored motoring around, you just find odd jobs to do. Today I'm just polishing it, trying to take off a bit of stain that's actually on the aluminium here. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, I don't even know where it came from. So, it's been bugging me. What? I'm just replanting some chilli.
Richard has always been taking up new projects. This time, he's growing chili, dill and coriander. He refers to them as his lads.
Leave my lads alone. You leave my plants alone. Let them grow in the sun.
Richard has developed a green thumb.
Yes.
out again, super hot, but still no wind. Motoring, motoring, more motoring. Completely exhausted by the heat, we resorted to the mid-ocean swim to cool ourselves down. Have you ever been for a dip in 3,000 meters?
Oh, it's fast! Woo! Woo! Oh, it's fast! Here comes the wave.
Oh, let's go 5 knots!
Oh, that's awesome! Go on, you're in next then.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah.
Where's that ladder? What do you hold usually?
The rung of the ladder.
On the here?
No, the rung.
On the step?
Yep.
Woohoo! Woo!
We just went to 2 knots, that was it. Woo! They duck your head. Look at dolphins.
Look on the water.
We're sailing. First time we're sailing in 3 days. Sick of bloody motoring, but finally we're sailing. I've trimmed the sails, perfection. We've got 7.5 knots now. Full sail. Beautiful. And we've just been for a good old swim in 3,000 metres of water. Oh, rats. I stopped, you know what, Tony, I stopped everything. As soon as it started sailing, I dropped everything, I'm up here.
It's retreat sailing.
Because I'm sailing, that's all I give a shit about.
Unfortunately, the wind didn't last too long, so we had no choice but to go back to motoring. And that's when we discovered that our port side engine wasn't working properly. Like a 40 connector?
Yeah, it's been working fine all this time until we wanted to actually use it tonight, and that's typical, isn't it?
The engine wouldn't turn off and...
Yeah. So we're going to try and put another one on. Goodness gracious me. Hey, boat life. Not a good life at times. There's water that got inside the wire somewhere, some moisture. Dino took the tape off to have a look, and he said there was a bit of condensation, and that actually got inside the 2 connectors. Well, actually, yeah, 2 sets of connectors. And moisture got in, and it would let the engine turn off. We pulled the relay out, changed the relays. Everything's working fine now. We're going to let it dry out a bit, give it a day, and it'll work again.
So we'll just run it for a bit.
Yeah, run the engine.
Because turn it off, we can turn it off from the engine.
Yeah, I can still turn it off from the engine. So we're still capable of turning off from the engine. But that's fine. But I can tell you what, you give it a couple of hours there, because all the tape's now taken off it. So the moisture's now going to be dried out from the heat of the engine bay, and then it'll actually turn off. You watch, it'll have, that's why sometimes putting tape around the wires is not a good thing, because it holds moisture. Yeah.
Eventful night?
Hey?
Evening.
Eventful night. And I've got a bloody sunburn and it hurts.
Flags are up. Flags are up, ready for arrival to Dar es Salaam. this time around we've got membership in Lull Yacht Club, so I think we're allowed to stay for free. But first things first, we need to go see some authorities, pay some money, get the visas, get Cassius cleared in. Fun times.